So some of the most popular videos on my channel are about the original Xbox. I've done quite a few videos showing hardware repairs on these, and some of the videos will show the basics on how to open them, but I've never done a dedicated just how to open your Xbox video. And the question comes up from time to time, so I thought I'd do just a dedicated video for those who wind up on my channel and happen to want to know. Of course, this is an original Xbox. It is hard modded, but that doesn't change how you open the console. We'll go on and flip it over, and you can see here where the 4 foot pads were. Now in conjunction, there's one of the stickers here and one of the stickers here that you can see where there's a little indent where I've pierced through and done the screw, undone it. So I've opened this one before, obviously. You can easily feel for these, and they're in standard locations, so if you're looking at an Xbox, you should have no issues opening it up from this. And what you'll do is you'll take a Torx 20 bit, T20, the little star-shaped bit, personally my favorite type of a screwdriver bit. And what I like to do is actually start from the outside on opposite corners, loosening. I think this puts the minimum stress on the shell of the unit and the minimum stress on the board wherever anything may connect through. Because the outer ones hold the case to itself, the inner ones also pierce through some of the components and kind of put stress on them. Just the trays that the DVD-ROM drive is in, but still, it pushes against the motherboard, and you don't want to put too much stress on there. This one's staying down in there. There you go, get out of there. I always love how these screws on the Xbox look. They're really heavy duty. These are much bigger than the ones on the 360. Once you're done doing that though, the case just sort of slides off. It may get stuck in a few areas, no big deal, you just gotta kind of pry it, but it comes off easy enough. There's your RF shielding. And let me turn it back forward. No, I'll leave it this way. You're left with the actual console itself. Of course, this is not the original hard drive. This is an 80 gig hard drive from a spare computer of mine. I name it just because I need to know which computer it came from. At this point, you'll no longer need your T20 till you're assembling the case again. What you'll need now is your T10. There's a couple of screws you'll need to remove. First, I'll undo the ribbon cable and undo the power cable to the hard drive, which can be pretty tight in there. Although that's good, you wouldn't want your power cable coming loose randomly. Once you finally get it out of there though, snake it on around right here. And at that point you're ready to undo this screw. Now this just locks the caddy for the hard drive in with the caddy for the optical drive. If you go on and lift them up, it should slide out. Move that around, and there you go. I like to leave this screw in here for easier reassembly. From there you have the CPU and the power supply. Of course, be careful with the power supply, especially if you've just unplugged the console. You may want to hold down the button and discharge it before you get working into it. Always be safe with electricity. Now this exposes this screw to much easier removal and this screw. Now these are kind of a pain to remove though, because they are wedged so deep in there. Generally, if you have some kind of extender or something, it's good to take advantage of that because these guys are a pain. If you can get in there and feel your way and get a good connection, you'll be able to remove it easily. And same with this one. Now it isn't so hard to remove these screws as it is to put them back in. And of course, once you've done that, you'll want to hit your tripod with the Xbox, but before you do that, go on and remove these 2 connectors, because there's your power and your data connection to the optical drive. And from there, if the screw is released correctly, you should be able to just lift up. Now this screw is obviously still a little tight in here. That's pretty normal. You're not going to get the best feeling and response from these screws as you undo them. So just be gentle, lift it on up, And now you have access to the Xbox motherboard for whatever you may need to do. I'm not going to go further and disassemble this down to stripping the board or removing all this because, one, this is a modded Xbox and that would be a nightmare to not break. And two, it's generally not necessary on the end user level. You can access the clock capacitor spot down here. You can change the power supply without even removing the DVD drive. You can remove the system fans and clean them. You can clean all the grills, the heat sinks. Anything you may need to do that doesn't require major part replacement, you can do like this. It only takes about 5 minutes to open it up, and even less time to close it usually, just depending on how these two screws want to behave. Thanks for watching. Catch everyone in the next video.